Yo,
Hey, yo, we here. Listen, this is the first episode of the first installment of another installment on my channel called Money in the Banks. And the name is called that for a reason. I'm here. I know me. Thanks for them Juice Banks. Let me put the names up. Let me see so people can really, get a feel for what's going on around here. Let them feel the energy. Let them feel the energy. There we go. We got Run Juice Banks and Paper Chaser Banks.
what?
So, let's change the color. What color? Let's go with green. Let's go with green. A little darker green or hunter green going on there. Nah, we getting too far from the green. Let's keep it there. Let's keep it there. We good with the neon green. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's do minimal. Let's do that right there. Nah, let's do classic. Bubble block. I don't like. Let's do classic. Well, we'll keep it here. I kind of like the paper chaser. All right, we here now. We what we gonna be talking about on here? Um, I don't know. Just whatever comes up. I kind of like the open floor type of conversation. No real scripted, nothing, no scripted topics or conversations, but just kind of go with the conversation. A little backstory on who this is. This is my nephew. This is my older sister's youngest boy. You know what I'm saying? This is my
Right,
sister's youngest boy.
right, right.
um, we grew up together. Uh, yeah, sandbox type shit. We was dusty together. What they say? Our forces used to drip. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? uh,
Facts.
but yeah. So I wanted to bring him on add a different element. He got a real different way of thinking. Um, yo,
Different way
Cash,
of thinking.
yeah, kind of. I mean, not well, different from me in a sense, but you know, whatever. But I was just thinking, right? Um, right now, my family's coming together. Banks family's coming together to make some moves and set up the generation with some things and wealth and all types of shit, different types of shit, right?
Hmm.
And while we're in there, we talking, right? We talking about like getting motherfuckers credit together, life insurance, like real shit. Um, do you think families are really doing this? Like our community, our culture, the African American homes, families are really doing this, and why not?
You mean Black American?
Black niggas. Do you think niggas is really doing this? Like locking in with their family and trying to create some type of generational wealth so everybody good for life and then some, a structure. You know what I mean?
No, I don't think so. I don't think it's part of the culture. You know what I'm saying? Families, you got like different cultures or different, the Chinese, the Asians or whatever, or you might have the Jewish people. They have that's part of their culture, financials. I don't think we on it like that. I think we're getting towards that way, headed towards that direction, but I don't think that's our dominant culture right now, which
I
was
would.
probably by design because it used to be out of
What you say?
slavery, particularly.
Yeah, yeah. Do you think it's like that shit's played? I think that shit is played out, man.
What is?
Like that, like niggas like it's that whole slavery shit. Like, I understand, like, but we had a it was that 400, however many years ago. Like, I feel like I hate to sound crazy. This is about to sound crazy, man. But it's like, bro, we gotta move on from that mentality or move on from thinking that we we continue to be fucked up because of some shit that our ancestors went through. Like the whole slave shit and all that, the Jim Crow, all that shit. Like, I think it's important to remember that shit, but like, come on, man. Like, I don't know. Like the white man shit holding us up. White man, like I think that shit we gotta we gotta move on from that, yo. Like I feel
Yeah,
like
No, I feel that too, but it's still affecting us to this day. You know, I think
you think the Shador Sanders situation was an example of that?
right. It could be very much so. It could be.
You think that was because he was black?
I think it could be. You know, what I'm saying I don't know every little part that that went into that. I don't know. You know, what I'm saying everything that went into
Nobody
that.
really does. Nobody really does.
But if it isn't that, I mean, I think being a like a confident, if being too a confident Negro is it offends certain demographics. You know what I'm saying? It's offensive to certain demographics when you black and you super confident, you got super swag or whatever. I think it's offensive, and I think it is. It could be scary to certain institutions. You know what I'm saying? I think that's possible. If somebody said this was what it was, I wouldn't be like, nah, that ain't it. You know what I'm saying? We still
Mm-hmm.
living in those days. We still living in those days, bro. Nothing you could do about it. We still living in those days where it matters. Look at Kanye. Kanye out here bugging out, talking about all
That's
the doors that are
that's not because he's black. It's because he's fucking acting that way. Like the fuck. Like I can't think of any examples right now off the top of my head of white people who have doing crazy shit and like got abandoned. Like, yo, we're not fucking with him right now. Like this nigga's bugging out.
I don't know, man.
But I'm
There's a
sure it's
lot.
out there though.
Put it this way: if you go into these banking institutions and you try to get a loan, do you think your race has anything to do with it when you start busting certain moves with financial institutions? Do you think they
Nope.
look at it?
Nope.
Or you're wrong. There's evidence of people selling their houses when they have black people pictures in their homes, and then their houses are selling for hundreds of thousands less than it would be if didn't know a black person owned it. You know what I'm saying? These are class action lawsuits. These are facts. So it still happens to this day. That's why they have to have fair housing agencies and all that. We still. I mean, we got a lot of work to do. But I mean, I halfway.
So you telling me if I go into a bank today and say I want a loan, they're gonna look at me like, nah, you black. I gotta, I don't know. Or does my credentials not speak for me? That doesn't play a factor at all.
There's gonna be examples after examples to this current day where you think your economics can take you out of being prosecuted by the race soldiers, the police, or whatever have you. Your money. Look what they did with the bull from what's some from Miami when they put him on the ground, took him out of his whip. The football player.
Yeah. Tyreek Evans.
Tyreek Evans. Do you think that had anything to do with his skin color, or you just think it was nah? They got offended, nigga. He was running around driving that Lambo, black as shit, and it's like, nah, hell no. They
But,
wouldn't have did that to no white boy.
so there's no way that is because he was speeding, doing excessive speeds. Some cops find that offensive, white or black, when you're
Right,
doing
but
that, and they behave that way.
okay. Do you think they would have did that to a black person?
To a white person, you mean?
To a white person? You hesitate and says it all. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. They ain't throwing no white dude on the ground like that. Especially, but if they see him in a Lambo, they're gonna be nervous because they think he got bread. So white dude with money versus black dude with money is different.
Yeah. They automatically associate us with entertainment.
Right.
Whether it's the white guy, he might be somebody's son.
Might be a lawyer, right?
He might be that's somebody's son, or somebody,
right?
Or he's him. You know what I'm saying?
That's
you
a
know
fact.
what I mean? That's the chief of police's son, or this is the the attorney general's son, or whatever. Or he is the attorney general. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me proceed with caution here. I get what you're saying.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. That 400 years it matters, man. And what do you do when you give a race or other people that come to this country? You give them a 400-year head start.
I feel you, but I still don't think that us as a culture should be still using that as a reason to why we not where we need to be. Why we not trying to set up generational wealth, do things for our family, like what we are trying to do right now within our family. You feel what I'm saying? Like that shit, it shouldn't be. A white person isn't stopping you from coming together with your family to make sure that y'all get your credit right. Make sure y'all got life insurance. Make sure y'all taking necessary steps that y'all need to take to make sure that y'all can start something and it be passed down. You feel what I'm saying? White people ain't stopping you from doing that. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying when I mean, like, yo, we got to stop, like, that whole, the white man, like, I get it. There are some shit, listen, it's here. I agree with you 100%. It's here. That shit is happening. It's happening. But, bruh, like, I feel like, I don't know, like, I understand. I think, I can't even say it's the lack of education anymore because it's here. The education is there for people, for us.
Yeah, the education.
To do what we're doing right now, or what we're trying to do right now, to do what we're going to do. Let's say that. You know what I mean? To do what we're going to do as the Banks family. This education and this things out there for people. Listen, tell them your education, Dante, please. What's your level of education?
I mean, formally?
What's your level of education?
Well, formally, it's high school, just high school. Yeah, that's not. Yeah, just high school.
Did you complete all 12 years?
No.
Now, you went out and got the education. I'm just making a point here.
Right.
You went out and did the work and self-educated yourself. Correct?
Right. For sure.
But there's no white man held you back from doing that.
So then why does it take our generation or the generation above us, your generation? If that's the case, then why does it take us to do it then? Because I'm not supposed to be doing
G3?
G3s, G2s and G3s. Why is it taking that generation then? If there's no excuse, and you can't get no excuses then.
I think the information is here now, more so than when my mother was born in 1949. She just turned what's the math on that? 78? 77? Nigga, help. Nigga,
yeah, but I'm saying, black people were more prosperous then than they are now. Black people are more prosperous then than we are now. We own less land. We have
76.
less money. We have less institutions. We're poorer than we were then, right out of slavery.
What? Wait, say that again.
Black people have less money than they did right out of slavery. We have less institutions. We own less land. We have less money.
You saying you said it's less now than coming out of slavery?
Than coming out of slavery. We have less money and own less land. Do your Googles, bro. Do your Googles. It matters. You know what I'm saying? That our history matters. They say in 20, 30 years, we're going to have a zero net worth. Black people, Black Americans. See, the thing is, people
whose fault is that? Whose fault is that?
Well, we have a lot of obstacles. I mean, who are you comparing us to? We came out of slavery, bro. No other culture came out of slavery that came to America.
This is what I'm saying, bro. We got to. Why everything got to resort back to that?
Because it was traumatic. There was
400 years. You didn't get hit with no whip. I didn't get hit with a whip. My mother didn't get hit with a whip. That was shit 76. Her mother didn't get hit with a whip. Like, come on.
Yeah, they didn't get hit with a whip, but they got hit with a financial whip. Your mother got hit with a financial whip. My mother, my great-great-grandmother, my grandmother got hit with financial whips. They were stealing land. They had all these programs and wouldn't allow us to participate in these programs. We would go to World War II. They would not allow us to buy homes and all these different. Dog, we have barriers after barriers after barriers. It didn't just stop at slavery.
Right. So
You know what I'm saying?
you thinking that's holding us back now?
I think that's just one of the obstacles. I think we just need a whole new culture uh renaissance. You know what I'm saying? We have to become and I think with some people are. Some people are grouping up together and then becoming more, economically educated, you know what I'm saying, more financially astute. But, it's going to take time. And you got a group of people that like-minded people. But I can't look at certain black people and be like, nah, man, come on, you ain't got no. Because you don't only know. If you don't know, you don't know. You know what I'm saying? If you're ignorant, you ignorant. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Facts. Facts.
I've just been blessed to be around and have family members and uncles and you know men that were into this type of stuff that I saw throwing a suit and were in CEO positions and stuff. I'm just lucky, you know what I'm saying?
Bless.
And
Bless.
just
Yeah.
blessed, yeah, blessed them, and that's not normal, especially for
You're
black
right.
people.
You're right.
I met people that told me, yo, the most important thing you could do is read a book, is read books, and read books. So, but what we were supposed to do is educate ourselves and then go back down south. But nobody wanted to go back down south. And that's where we messed up. That's where we messed up. We got formally educated and turned our back on our peoples.
What's something that you remember that was what's something now you talking about your uncle, right?
Yeah.
Right. What was something that you took from him without him having to tell you? Like something just by watching the way he moved. You know what I mean? And this is somebody that was a president of a bank, correct?
Yeah.
A really prestigious bank in New York.
The city.
Yeah, in the city, right? So by seeing how he was moving, what was something you took from him without him even knowing? But you just seen how he was moving. It's like, you know what? Let me see what's up with that.
No, I just seen him, be prosperous. You know what I'm saying? That people I think undervalue just having somebody that's prosperous around you that wasn't doing anything, illegal or anything like that. Seeing somebody,
That's
a man,
real. That's real. That's real.
right? Hell yeah, you got to see that type of shit. And then you see somebody like, dressed in a suit, look nice. Uh, he spoke, he was personable, everybody loved him. He's just a man's man, you know what I'm saying? And he came down from a line of men, you know what I'm saying, old school men. And he just passed that down, you know what I mean?
Stand up niggas.
Right, exactly.
Stand up niggas.
Yeah, 100%. You know what I'm saying? So it was just, it's different when your uncle, picks you up in a two-door Benz, a drop top,
and he ain't selling dope.
He's not selling dope.
And he not selling dope.
And he's just talking to, just being your uncle. Yeah. That has an impression on you. So it's just like, you value things like business, or, you just want to indirectly be just like them. So it's just that, bro. Just being a man, first things first. That's the biggest thing I seen him do that inspired me. Just be a man. That's it.
Yo, let's change. Let's get on that. Let's change course.
That's the basics.
Let's change course and let's get on that.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about that. A man's man.
A man's man, bro.
They like to say, stand up nigga. Stand on business, right?
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Right. To me, I see it. I'm gonna say what I envision and what my definition of that is, and I want to hear what yours is, right? My definition of a man's man is somebody who respects everybody, right? But still stands up for himself, stands up for what he believes in. Is a provider for his family, provider for his family. Is a friend to his friends, a real friend, a loyal and dependent person to his friends. And I'm not talking not in the sense of him being ready to fight somebody at the drop of a dime, no, but knowing how to escalate or de-escalate a situation. You know what I mean? Knowing like, nah, you know what I mean? But That's and somebody who's definitely kind of like what you're saying about your uncle more so um sharing information, warning, you know, being a mentor or a example
Yeah, for
for
sure.
the people coming up underneath him. You know what I'm
For
saying?
sure.
That would be my take on a man's man. You know what I'm saying? Probably some more to it. I'm probably gonna agree with what you're gonna
Yeah,
say.
yeah. I mean, I agree with most of the things you just said. Is just being a
Yeah,
man's man, and I think the biggest thing is having a purpose. You know what I'm saying? A lot of uh, young men today and a lot of men today don't have any purpose, so it kind of messes up the natural order of manhood. You know, so I say that's one of the main things is having a purpose, and like all the other attributes that you said, like being a caring person, a loving person, but still being able to be dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Because you rather be a warrior and a gardener in a garden than a gardener in a war. You know what I'm saying? So just staying dangerous, but you still have uh, gentleman qualities.
yeah.
That's what I say.
You know what's crazy? Before we dive more into this, I want to somebody I seen this. What's the name? Somebody's told me this one time. It was like, yo, you want to know I heard this somewhere. I'm not sure where. I forgot, but I heard this. So you want to know the true value of a man, or like who he is, or what his life was like, or his who who he was as a person when 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 he passed away.
Funeral,
That funeral.
yeah, let you know everything.
That funeral, bro. That funeral, dog. That funeral, B. That um that long line of cars.
Facts,
That standing room only in the church. You know what I'm
facts.
saying? Like that gravesite packed out. You feel what I'm saying?
Right,
Of
right.
niggas coming to truly pay respects because he had a real impact in their life some way, somehow. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
Like that's real shit. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker die. He got two. The only nigga there is his baby mama. Immediate family, couple cousins.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
right,
that's the mark you left on the world, bro. You know what I'm
right,
saying? You
right. I feel
know what I'm
that.
saying? That's the mark you left on the world. But yeah. So like, all right, and it's crazy, right? This is our past right here, right? You say pretty much your uncle had a very important place in your life, right?
Yeah, he's probably the most influential
The
person
most influential person in your life, right?
for
So
sure.
this is where our lives kind of veer off a little bit, right? So
Hmm.
when we mention your uncle, for those of you that don't know, this is my nephew. I'm his mother's brother. His uncle is on his father's side, his father's family, right?
Hmm.
And I was always a little envious of that for you growing up.
Hmm.
I was always a little envious of that because uh your father was kind of he lived away, but his
Yeah.
family his family showed mad love. You know, your aunts, both your uncles, like they showed mad love. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up, Court? So it's like they showed mad love, and I was like, man, when I was still wearing Payless shoes, Dot had the olive J's on. I'm like, where he getting these shoes from? How he getting these J's? I want some J's. Like, but he had that family that was there, right? So, your mom moved to Yonkers. I was living in White Plains, separate towns, right? So, when I grew up, where I stayed in Lake Street, I came up and I was influenced by what I seen every day. You feel what I'm saying? So I had some people in my life who kind of showed me another way. Like, yo, this ain't everything is more out. Is more to the world then Lake Street. You know what I'm saying? Then this block, then this park, then you know what I mean? Then these benches. Like, it's more to life than this. Like, yo, took me to some basketball games, baseball games, camping, adventure parks and all that type of stuff. But there was never no real example as I got older of anybody showing me what you say. I see my uncle, he had a suit on, came and grabbed me in the Benz, spent time with me, and he wasn't a hustler. I admired the niggas who pulling up in the motherfucking burgundy Lexus, you know what I mean? The all white Acuras, the niggas, you know what I mean? Like, I'm on that. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm looked up to. So that right there put me behind the curve. You know what I'm saying? As far as information or seeing something positive or seeing a man's man. A man's man with me is a nigga that's out here grinding, hustling, selling some weed, selling some coke, selling some dope, whatever. You know what I mean? Saved up a little bit of money. He got him a little whip. You know what I'm saying?
And that still could be a man's man if the morals align.
Yes.
I mean, that doesn't.
Right.
You know, he's still a man. You know what I mean? So that doesn't. I wouldn't say that those weren't men. You know what I mean?
Right. But as far as what we started talking about, as far as trying to build generational wealth and and family legacy and things like that, and financial literacy in that way, that I didn't see that, and I didn't see another way to get that, to get money other than that.
Important. That's important.
You feel what I'm saying? So. But you're right though. These was they were some stand-up niggas. They definitely were some stand-up niggas. But for what they was in, the realm they was in, the world that they was living in, they were stand-up niggas. You know what I'm saying? And that it ain't helped me none. You know what I'm saying? It ain't helped me none when I became a man and had kids and needed to instill things in them, but I knew it wasn't what I wanted. I knew that I didn't want them to learn the shit or pick up on the shit that I picked up on, because I realized at a young age how far I was behind. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Just take like my brother on my father's side, for instance, like him at 26 years old, he got a house, he renting a property, like, you know what I mean? Like, values was different. You know what I'm saying? Grew up different. And what was being installed in him as a kid: save your money, get your credit right, work this type of job, build your pension, pull from your pension if you need to, like that type of shit. I didn't know about a pension, nigga, till I was 28. You feel what I'm saying? 401k till I was 28. You feel what I'm saying? Right, I had a job, and I finally got a job that offered that. Right. And I was tight with them. The first 3 years of working there, I didn't sign up for the 401k. Cause I'm like, nah, fuck that. I don't do money for what? Y'all taking 6%? Nah. I don't need that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not knowing the importance of that. You know what I'm saying?
The value.
The value in that. You know what I'm saying?
Or listen, you might have saved yourself some money because the 401k is nothing but a tax government thing anyway. So,
but I had to. I don't have a 401k now. I did. Right. I ended up signing up for it, but I ended up taking it out and paying some shit off and investing into some other shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't have one now, and people look at me crazy. Like, you don't got a 401k? Nah. I don't got that, bro. I don't plan on waiting until I'm 67 to retire. I got some other shit going on. Right. I got some other shit I'm trying to get involved in now.
Right. Especially they're offering 6%, or
I could double my own. I could double my own 6%. Right. I could double my own 6%, nigga.
That's a fact. And you don't have to pay taxes and managing fees that they sneak in there and all that.
Nah, that's it. That's just definitely different. But staying on track real quick, you
grew up different.
Yeah, I grew up different. There you go. I grew up different than you, than what you seen, or the examples that you had at a young age. Do you do things for his approval?
Nah, I think he's no, not really. I think he's proud of me
I mean,
already.
well, let me rephrase that. Do you do things and like thinking like, yeah, my uncle will be he would fuck with this, like with him in mind?
Um no, not anymore. I mean, nah, the biggest things is just is not the financial thing anymore. It's just more just the way to treat people and just the way to carry myself more than anything. You know what I'm saying? Uh, to the basic, just the basic manhood stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, well, this is the I want to grow up and end up like him. You know what I'm saying? I want people to revere me as they revere him as he gets older, which is total respect. And you can't. There's no dirt on his name. You know what I'm saying?
No
No dirt
mustard
on
on
his
his jacket. No
no,
mustard on his
but
jacket.
none at
No
all.
smut on my rep.
None at all. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Respectfully.
more so of that, you know what I'm saying? I'm just working in the line. And I won't disrespect them, by being family and sharing the same blood. I won't disrespect them. So I may move with indirectly with an extra sense of pride, of
Mm,
legacy.
mm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how I view him and how he affects me personally. It's just keeping the name straight.
The
You know what I
blood.
mean?
The
Yeah,
blood.
keeping it
The
good.
bloodline. The bloodline strong. Respectfully.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? With honor and integrity.
Respectfully. Now let me ask you this, right? So we both got sons. Well, let me just say that, not ask a question, but we both got sons. I got a 21-year-old. I got a 17-year-old. You got a Pharaoh's 10 now?
10. Get 10
10.
yesterday.
10. 10 yesterday.
Right.
Um, I have a 5-year-old daughter, right?
Right.
That I have accepted as my own. Uh, that I am 3 years into this, right?
Right.
Um, you are about to be uh a girl dad. Um,
Yeah. I'm having a
um,
daughter.
blessings.
Good looking.
What approaches are you taking with her? Help me, nigga, help me,
Hello, man.
cause I struggle with it. I struggle with it.
I just want her to be as close to a mother as I can make her. You know what I'm saying? I was fortunate enough to have a wife that had a good father, a man's man as a father, and he raised good kids. And I just want, you know, my daughter to be like her mother. So it's easy when you have a blueprint.
Hmm.
It's a lot easier.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's
I
the best.
I get that, but I'm talking about like your role as a father, like to that. Me, this is let me tell you my struggle, right? Not really a struggle, but it's a struggle for me. Is I don't know if I'm too hard. I don't know if I'm too nice. I don't. Because of my upbringing, right, and the way that my father carried it with me, I feel myself doing a lot more correcting. You feel what I'm saying? And I feel like I don't want to overcorrect, but I do still show her affection. I do still show her love. You know what I mean? I make sure to do that. I make sure that I love her, tell her that I love her, hug, kiss, all that type of shit. But I'm trying to figure like what it like is there anything else that I should be doing?
I
Like
don't know, nigga. I don't got no daughter yet. I don't know. All I know about is raising a son, and it's really not that hard. You know what I'm saying? It's not that hard if you're there to me to raise a kid. You got to actually be an active parent. Parenting is a skill. I think
I,
people undervalue that. The parenting is an actual skill. There's things you can learn to become a better parent. You know what I'm saying? I think most people are on cruise control and they, take on the habits that they were passed down to from their parents who passed that down from so they could pass down bad habits.
Yeah.
But
Just off of like just hearing people talk and listening to certain motivational speakers and different things like that. Like I do
yeah,
know the way I treat her mother is important.
yeah, for sure. I imagine it would be.
I
Yeah,
do know that. So um well, the way me and her mother interact, the way she treats me is important.
for sure.
You know what I mean? And like so I'm very conscious about that. Like me and Stevie don't argue anyway like that. We don't really get into like arguments like that. But we don't yell either. So what I would say she witnesses with me and her mother is like we spend time together. Like we be on the couch. We do a lot of things together. Watch TV together. What everything. We do a lot of things together, and we always having fun, always laughing, always joking. So I'm hoping that that translates to her for when she goes to look for someone, and that's what Every nigga's fear is just trying to keep their baby off the pole, cuz. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Trying to
yeah,
keep their baby off the pole. Like, the whole daddy issue. She got daddy issues and da-da-da-da. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I kind of don't know what I want. I don't I want her to love me. I mean, I want her to trust me and know she can come to me with anything. All the typical shit that you would want. You know what I mean? But it's just more so of what is it that I need to do to make her or to get her to that point. That's what it is for me. That's what it is. Like, okay, I don't know. Like my boys was easy. I feel like it was easy for me with them, but like for her, I don't know if what I'm doing now is setting the foundation for her to be dad forever. Daddy, you know what I mean? Forever. You feel what I'm saying? Um little chat interaction real quick. Ask your kids for feedback, bro. Our kids are our best teachers.
that's a fact. I
Um
agree with that.
I mean, how can you ask a 5-year-old? Am I a good daddy? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you you need anything from me? Like, what questions do you ask a 5-year-old? Like, I mean,
I don't know
granted,
if you have to
she's
ask
very
them
fucking smart.
right. I don't know if you have to like per se ask them exactly what like how am I doing, but like more so your feedback will let you know how you're doing as a parent.
Mhm.
When I talk to my son, I'm like, okay, yeah, he's smart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm doing a good
yeah,
job.
yeah,
His perspective is different. I'm doing a good job. Yo, how do you feel about this? Oh, word? Or what if this happened? Or what if this happens? Or how's your day going? You know what I'm saying? It's just
yeah,
basic having
yeah,
having a conversation with your kids. I think that's a new
yeah.
school thing that a lot of parents are doing is just having a simple conversation with your kids.
That's crazy that you said that because we was just talking last. Was it last night? We was talking last night about how my conversations have changed and how different they are with my 17-year-old and my 21-year-old. You know what I'm saying? my my 17-year-old is more so me feeling like, nigga, you still a kid in a sense, and you're still navigating through life. You're only a junior in high school, nigga. You know what I mean? Now I found myself trying not to talk at him, but I'm talking at him.
Right.
Like, nigga, you need to get your shit together. You know what I mean? Like I'm really on him like about shit like that. But my older boy is more so of me talking to him and trying to keep him grounded, if that makes sense.
Right,
You
right,
know what
for
I'm
sure.
saying? Seeing where his mental's at. Is he what's going on, man? What's up with you? What's up with you? Talking, and asking him certain things that I know would bother me. Yo, what's up with you and Shorty? Y'all still rocking out? Yeah, man. What's up? What's going on? And making him dive more into that situation. And I'm looking for any area I can slide in and give him some advice.
Right, right,
You know what I'm
right, for
saying?
sure. For sure.
Like, what's going on with the basketball, man? You know what I'm saying? What you doing? Yeah, I'm trying to. Hey, what's up? You working? Like, what you doing? Like, you in the gym, right? Like, what else you doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so just trying to any conversation I can get to get him to slide, like I said, slide some advice in, but also give him some confidence as well. You know what I'm saying? At the same time. And I mean, I do that with my 17-year-old as well, but it's 50%. Well, a little more than that. 80%, 80% my foot's in your ass.
Facts.
Like, nigga, you see me calling, it's like, oh, shit. Nah, I did it. I did do that. I did it already. I already did it. I did it already. All right, good. Like, and that's my thing. It's like you handle your business. This is my motto for him. And handle your business, and I'm gonna handle mine. I'll be there and do anything to help you and whatever get you with anything you need. I'm here for you. But I'm gonna handle my business, but you gotta handle yours. You gotta do what you gotta do. And then I'm gonna make sure I do what I gotta do. So yeah, so moving forward. But yeah, but what I said, we said the biggest problem. Yeah, I'm gonna go to my bad. The biggest problem with society is that we tend to love our sons and raise our daughters. Most men have a daughter, and we are so worried about her being a hoe. It prevents us from letting them live. Now, I don't think I have a problem with that. I won't have a problem with her going out.
But you say you're trying to keep her off the pole.
Yes. He actually gave me a tip. How can daddy be your best friend? I have a 10-year-old girl and a 5-year-old boy. Kids understand if you communicate well.
Yeah, that's for sure.
How can daddy be your best friend? I like that. I'm gonna use that.
Yeah, that's undervalued, man. You could definitely tell the kids that have conversations with their parents. You know what I'm saying? You can tell this is different. They're more they speak well, they're more confident. You can tell.
They have opinions.
They have opinions, right?
They have opinions. I disagree with that.
Right, right, for sure. Right. That's a fact.
But how do you separate that friendship role with daddy? Yo, time to go clean that room up. Get in the shower, get ready to eat, get in the bed.
I think that's
or is it just natural?
I think it's natural. I think that's natural. And I think, having structure helps with a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? Because then there's no debate. It is what it is. This is the time you do this. This is why I expect you to do it, when I expect you to do this. So you don't really got to go back and forth. This is just what it is. This is the structure. This is the system. I'm not going to fight with you. It is what it is, bro. This is the system. You got to brush your teeth. You got to wash your face. You know that. We do this all the time.
We do it, bro. Come on, man.
Right.
Everybody does this.
Right.
I'm doing this. Mommy's doing this.
Right.
You doing this. It's a family thing.
Right,
Let's go together.
Right.
Let's go to the bathroom together. Let's go wash our face together. Matter of fact, I think you know what? I need to get a good face wash in right now. I need to get myself. Let's go.
I think it's more complicated when the family's not together. You know what I'm saying? When you have to separate. Mom and the dad aren't together. I think it might be more challenging.
Oh, that dynamic. And I seen this shit, right? CC, what up? Kids don't come with manuals. The conversations we have as parents matter. This is great. It's a fact. So, wait, what were you saying? What was you just saying?
What about?
I lost my thought. Damn. What were we talking about?
Conversation with the kids, having systems and structure, and being a broken home.
Yes, that's what it is, right? So, co-parenting versus single parents, right?
Right.
So, this is what I also seen, right, or heard somebody say. Co-parenting, right? Co-parenting is when the parents are working in a cohesive format, setting, whatever, right? With the child. in regards to the child, right? So that means if bedtime at my house is 8 o'clock, bedtime at your house is 8 o'clock. If he's not allowed on his tablet or any type of electronics after 6 at my home, he's not allowed that at your home either. You feel what I'm saying? If the rules that I've set forth, that we set forth, apply to both homes, right? That's co-parenting. That's structure. If you're going to do it, it has to be done that way, in my opinion. Mommy house, I'm up. I go to sleep when I go to sleep. I sleep with the TV on. I go to my room. My mom turned the TV on. I sleep on the, I'm supposed to sleep on the couch. My mom go in her room, whatever. I watch my tablet however long, or at dad's house, I can do this. And, that's single parenting. That's single parenting. That's where the problem lies. In my opinion, that's a problem. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's hard to, because you have two different lifestyles. I listen.
Yeah.
I'm not an expert on
a guru. We're not. I'm asking real questions.
About single parent. I don't know how to
I'm
function.
looking at comments for answers, like for real.
I don't know. I'm not, dropping the kid off in the middle of the week to switch visits and all that. I'm not an expert on that, but I imagine that there's two different lifestyles. It's hard to be 100% on the same page with something like bedtime all the time.
Yeah. It's not
eating
hard to do
schedules.
That. You saying that's hard?
It could be, because what if you work your hours and she works her hours and they're completely different? What if you work the night shift and she may work during the day?
Who's babysitting? Who's caring for the child?
It could be the grandmother.
Well, grandma, mommy. He needs to be in bed at this time. We gotta communicate. It takes a village.
Mommy's 70 years old. She don't give a damn about what your baby daddy talking about.
That's a fact, though. Nigga, grandma in bed by 6. Nigga, I don't know what that baby doing. That baby just tucked me in. That baby put me to sleep tonight. That baby's up. That baby is up. I don't know what that baby got going on. You called me?
Right.
I didn't see you called me. Shit. I didn't see the call.
Right. Or you can stay on your tablet until you're tired, until you go to bed.
Until you go to bed.
How you gonna stop that?
You're right.
But that's the ideal. I would say your situation, you just that scenario, that's the ideal, right? Everybody completely on the same page.
Yeah. That's what you would hope for.
That's what you would hope for. You would hope that the person lives close to the person, so you don't interrupt the kids' lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? If they have practice during this time, or they meet with their friends, you don't want to interrupt that, because they can grow up and resent you because they're taking them out of their system that they enjoy being in.
Yeah.
It's all types of.
Yeah.
God bless.
What was it? You had that. You got a chance to. I didn't experience that. My father lived where he lived. I lived with my mother. I never went to my dad's house. I never had that type of experience or also that type of issue or problems. My mother's rules was my mother's rules, and that was what it was. So, what was that like for you? I know you moved in with your dad at what age?
I was 10.
Was that a culture shock for you?
Yeah, that was completely different.
Coming from and going to what?
Well, it was coming from my mom, you know what I'm saying, my mom's house or whatever, my sister, my older sister, my family. This is New York, and I was moving to the DMV, Silver Spring, Maryland, in the DMV area. That's completely there. I was only supposed to be there for the summer.
For real?
Yeah, hell yeah. Dog. I was supposed to be there for the summer.
When we dropped you off, because I was down there, playing some hoops down there. It was a little lit down there, right on Georgia Ave.
Right off of Georgia Ave, right
carry
there.
Carry on.
Yeah. No, I was supposed to, and then August, I'm enrolling in school. I'm like, what? I'm supposed to be back.
I'm supposed to be in Yonkers now.
I'm supposed to be back in Yonkers. I got some business in Yonkers.
I got my man Pedro up there.
Right. Yeah. It was completely different because fortunate my aunt was there from New York, on my dad's side, who I was extremely close with, who she's very influential in my life as well.
Yeah.
For a different reason, but she was there when I first got there, and then she ended up coming back to New York to you know, she was acting at the time. So
Mhm.
I felt lonely, you know what I'm saying? From going from both sides of my family to just my dad. You know what I mean? It was
Well,
lonely.
hold I want you to talk about the as far as the
Parenting,
yes, the
yeah, the
parenting styles
parents
and
was completely different.
what was expected of you, the rules and
Not
regulations in mommy house compared to dad's house.
well, the reason why, you know, the typical inner city type. My mom had two jobs. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't no. My sister was watching me. My mom left
Yeah,
for school and then come home until 10 o'clock at night.
survival mode, survival
Right.
mode.
And I was coming home at
950.
9:50. 9:50.
950.
She had to send me to my dad's house. As an
Yeah,
adult, she saved my
yeah.
life. You know what I'm saying? She saved my life. But you know, I was outside. You know, I was an outside kid. You know what I mean? I was old school
We
outside.
all
Yeah,
facts,
right. We was
facts,
outside.
facts, facts.
So you know, I'll just be home before she get home from work. You know, my sister, she's a teenager. You know what I'm saying? She's not a parent.
Yes,
She's a teenager. So she's on the
teenager.
phone. She's
How much older Nika's what? How much older
5
than
years
you?
older than me. She's
5.
5 years.
Yeah.
Right.
So
So
when you 10, she's 15.
right.
15-year-old girl,
I was like 9 and 8.
teenage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she
Right.
was
Right.
12, 13.
Right.
So yeah,
So,
pretty
but
much
she did
they
a good job.
understand.
Right. Right. But in Maryland, it was a little bit. My dad was more around. I would say it was more structured because I wasn't in Yonkers. You know what I'm saying? I'm in Silver Spring,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it was different in terms of that way. Um, Parenting style, he was learning on the. I could tell he was learning. He was learning me, and I was learning him because I wasn't. You know, he's my dad. I knew my dad, but I was raised by
My
my
mother.
mom and my uncle and them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
raised in New York, so we had to learn each other. Um, I was very angry, so you know I had to go through the therapy thing and
Yeah.
why are you so angry? You know what I'm saying? I want to
Yeah.
be home. My
I'm gonna
mom,
go home, nigga.
right?
I'm
That's what I'm
supposed to
saying.
be
I'm
out
stuck
of this
out here.
bitch.
Yeah. So it was difficult. It was
Yeah.
violent, not maybe physically, but the emotions and
The energy. The
the
energy
energy,
was
yeah, the
cut.
vibes was off.
Cut.
Right, you know, and certain times that's why it's important to be around as a father because if you have a certain kid and you living in that kid's living in certain environments, by the time he's 10 years old, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? You can't really tell me much at 10 if I've been outside and I'm running around doing what I want to do at nighttime and I'm 8 years old, 9 years old. You can't, what you gonna
That was the conflict.
right. So I had to
Conflict.
gain some respect for him and he had to learn me, you
Yeah.
know. So I had to, you know, but the parenting was
Yeah.
kind of he was figuring it out. I'll just say that. He was
Yeah.
figuring it as best as he could.
Did they have a conversation later on in life?
Nah, not really. You know, we're
What's
just cool
understood
now.
don't need to be explained.
Yeah. You know,
No hard feelings. I love you.
yeah. I'm
No hard
grown now. You
feelings.
know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
can't. It is what it is, man. Everybody has their own life. Your mama had her own life.
Damn. I
Everybody.
think people forget that though.
Right,
People
right.
forget
People
that.
forget that. So I can't hold no grudges.
Yeah.
Everything is everything. C'est la vie, right?
And
That's life.
that's crazy because I think we have those. It takes some people a long time to understand that.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
like to really forgive their mom or their dad or their parents for whatever absence or maybe whatever lack they may have been dealing with as a kid, not understanding that their mom or their dad was going through some real shit.
Yeah, hell,
Might have been going through some real shit, B.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I had a talk. I told you the other day. I had a talk with my older boy. Right, he's 20. He's 21. He'll be 22 in July. So he's not my biological son, but I came into his life. My ex-wife, he was 2 years old. I was 22 years old.
Yeah, that's insane.
So I'm kind of explaining to him. He was 2. I was 22. Matter of fact, I was turning 22. I met her in 06. I met her in April 06. So I was 21, turning 22. So I had to explain to him like where I was at. like you 21 right now, so you kind of understand. So everything that me and you went through, right? Because I was hard on him, and like you said, I was learning.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I only knew one way how to parent was with my father, nigga. You know what I mean? Pull that belt out and let's get busy in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Do as I say. Now, it's no, I don't want to hear no nothing, no back talk. I don't want to hear no explanations. I don't want to hear nothing. Do it now, or I'm pulling out the belt. And we going. It's. I'm swinging this bitch, and it's getting crazy in here. So, like, what happened? What I say, how I call it is, I had to break him down. He was very spoiled. You know what I mean? Very, very spoiled. Very bashful. But he just needed some respect. He didn't have that person in his life to tell him no and stand on no. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So I kind of had to build him, like break him down and then build him up to where by the time he was like 9 or 10, that's when the relationship changed with me and him. You know what I'm saying? To where now, you know, is I don't have to talk to you more than once. Like, you know the program. Like how you said you had a program. He fell in line. It took him a little bit, but he fell in line with the program. But I had to explain to him, I came into your life at 22, coming from where I come from and how I was raised. I ain't know no better, my boy. And I wasn't ready to be a father at 22. Like, for real. I wasn't ready. But I did what I had to do because I felt like this is what I needed to do. You feel what I'm saying? I took on the responsibility. You know what I'm saying? But that was just me going into him using condoms. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that was a prerequisite talk for him to, yo, you need to start using condoms. You know what I'm saying? Right. But keep using them. No, not necessarily start, but keep using them. Make sure you're using them. But I said it was real. But I say that to say this, like when you say how with you and your father, you know, him having to learn you, or like, or more so it's like, yo, 10 years old, you don't know where I'm coming from. You don't know how I was raised. You don't know what I got going on right now. I'm 10. Ain't nothing you can fucking tell me, nigga. Like, you know what I mean? You got to talk to me like an uncle. You got to talk to me nice. You know what I'm saying? You got to show me something. But all this rah, cuz I don't respond to that. I'm not going to respond well to that. You know what I'm saying? And what it is, it's like, I remember the interactions that I did have with my father when I was younger. I was telling this to Stevie a while ago. Anytime me and him talk or he would interact with me, it would always be a correction. And that's where I get it from. And it's like, I'm trying to recognize that now and trying to kind of change the narrative on that. But it's always a correction. And I remember one time, I'm like 12 years old, 13 years old. So I'm on my bike. I got my hat to the back. I got a Yankees hat on to the back. I got no shirt on. It's summertime. I'm on my bike. And I'm riding up the street to the store. I'm probably riding somewhere with my sister or somebody wanted something. So I'm riding to the store. So he sees me, right? And he called my name. Jermaine. Those are y'all little references. That's a Jamaican accent. He's from Jamaica. The nigga never lost it. He been here 50, 60 years, and that nigga ain't. He can't switch out of it. Yeah, he has no. Nigga,
fresh from the yard.
Yeah, that nigga is fresh from the yard, cuz to this day. So it's like sometimes he talk to me and I be like, huh? Like, nigga. But that was a thing too. But anyway, so he sees me. Jermaine, where your shirt at? I'm like, I don't know. Turn your hat around. Turn your hat around. Turn my hat around. Whatever. I turned it around. And you need to go home now. Go put a shirt on it. Don't let me catch you with your hat to the back. You wear a hat to the. But he going off on me, like going off.
Where were you at?
I was up by Lake Street Deli on the corner by Paper and Puff. I'm right there on the corner. I'm up the next block up.
Oh, further up. Okay.
Yeah, Kissico on Lake Street. I'm up there. I'm like, bruh. So that night, right? That night he calls my mom, cusses my mom out. Why that boy riding around town with his shirt off and his hat to the back? Hey, baby, you got me? You know my drink? Can I get it?
90s.
Yeah. So what it was is it's crazy. Yeah. So it's crazy because it's just like I feel that like I'm 12, 13, nigga. You don't know me.
Right.
You don't know me, dog.
Right.
Come on, man. This is what we do out here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
This
you
is
on
what
your
we
block.
do. Nigga, you go listen.
I'm in my hood.
Nigga, go down the street a little bit. You're gonna see about 20 niggas out there with their shirts off, towels on their head. Go ahead, go on down there. This is how we living. This is what we do. It's hot. It's summertime.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Niggas got on white beaters, or some niggas may have their shirt off, might not, but nigga, we chilling. And niggas has to. This is the style. Ain't no reading into it like that. I wasn't reading into it like that. But yeah, we can move on. We had an hour. Let's wrap it up in about another 5 minutes. But yeah, man, you about to make shit. I'm
I know. I
hot.
see you all
I'm getting
wound
hot,
up.
because I'm tight, man. I'm
right,
tight. Because like looking back at that, because I just know, like hearing you said when you was talking about that, it triggered me. Because I know that feeling, bro. I know that feeling. Like, come on, nigga, you don't know me. So, when was it that you kind of like stopped being angry and like kind of like, I guess y'all started to kind of connect? Was it one day, or was it one thing that y'all connected on, or was it just over time? It was just like, it is what it is.
Nah, man, I got life, bro. Like, you gotta work, you gotta, figure my own way. I have my own life, you know what I'm saying? I have my own crib. I'm in Brooklyn. I'm living in the Bronx. I got my own life.
So you held on to that for years?
It wasn't resentment, but it's just like, I would say it's gotten better when I started living more in Maryland, because I lived in Maryland for like about 5 years, 6 years or something like 5 years or 6 years, something like that. And, I started having friends there. So I got my own little life there. He started coaching my basketball team.
Yeah.
We start to get to know each other a little bit more.
And
that's when it kind of like, but when I first got there, it was kind of a little.
So would you say the basketball kind of?
Yeah, basketball brothers. We had a common.
That was that link.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. He became the dad that coached the AU team now. So now it's a little different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's gotten better. That that's when it started getting a little bit better.
Yeah.
And I had to accept. Well, damn, you gonna be here now. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna send you back to New York. You're not going back, bro.
It's not happening, cuz.
Yeah, you have to make it. You know what I mean?
You with us now, baby. Start making a life out here.
Right.
Start making a life out here.
Right. Get you some friends.
Facts. Now, what did you take from that? You said it saved your life. How?
Yeah. It saved my life. Because Yonkers, man, bro, the way I was heading and the people I was hanging out with, and it just was no good, you know what I'm saying? And it all
brought structure to your life.
Yeah, it brought structure to my life, and being a kid. It starts off the same way all the time. But 14 in Yonkers, Highland Avenue, you start hanging around people, we fighting. Then the fighting is gonna start becoming the knives, and then the knives are gonna start becoming the gun. It's the same story everywhere. Right.
Shooting out here now.
Right, because that's what they started doing. You know what I'm saying? So naturally it would have happened. Especially,
carrying box cutters, because they was cutting niggas' faces. That was the thing.
Right.
Cutting niggas' faces was the thing. And then after a while, we're not carrying box cutters no more. Nigga. We carrying whole handlers.
Right. 38s. We carrying handlers.
38s.
Right.
Oh, it's whatever. We out here.
Right.
40s, everything. Revolvers, we got them all. And we're letting them off.
Right.
57. And Yonkers was crazy.
It was crazy. And this is like the 90s. So you ain't getting no orders or no food is coming to your block.
Yonkers was a war zone.
Not going to change.
I mean, it's getting better. It's getting better. But then Yonkers was a war zone.
Right.
Facts.
And the older, you hang out with the older dudes and you're like, oh yeah, he's the pick of the litter. So you don't imagine what they're gonna start doing. You know what I mean? Have you doing after that?
Say, hey, what Marlo say about Mike and the why?
You got the big
puppy got big paws. That puppy got big paws.
Right. Yeah, but she did what she had to do, and I probably wasn't the easiest thing for her to do, but it was the best thing for for me, and I think it let up some pressure from her because she had, a single mother with 2 children. She friends when she had my mom at 15, she had my sister at 15. So
She trade you.
yeah, she did
Trade
it.
you, Trey and Furious. You
Right, right.
She did you with the
Right.
Trey and Furious. That's the boy to the hood, God.
Right.
Trey Styles. If I get in trouble again, Trey Styles will go live with my dad.
Exactly what you did. Word.
And he was tight too. He was like,
that's exactly what
he sat back. He sat back in the couch like,
right.
Damn, like he knew what it was.
Right.
First day on the set. First day on the set. Chicago, no. I need all these leaves raked up around here.
Right.
Rake all these leaves up.
That was my dad, bro. That was my dad. We had the lawn and everything. I was cutting grass, raking. Taking the trash out. My stepmother never touched the trash. You know what I'm saying? But those are valuable lessons. You know what I'm saying? Keep your bathroom clean. At this time, I had my own bathroom, my own room.
Yeah.
So it was different, but everything always works out the way it's supposed to.
Respectfully. I kind of had that moment too when I was 15.
Mm-hmm.
When my mom said we was moving to Delaware, because I was in it. You know what I'm saying? I was in it. I was in the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like 15, like I was in it. You know what I mean? I was already selling my little bit of weed at 13, smoking weed. I got kicked out of middle school. I'm in an alternative school now, and my school is from 7th to 12th grade. And these niggas ain't regular 12th graders. These niggas is super seniors is what we call them. Niggas that been there about 5-6 years high school type niggas. Like these niggas is like 19, like about to be graduating when they're 20 type niggas, like hood niggas. You know what I'm saying? For the projects, decal niggas from Ferris, it was all over. So I was in it, and like my mom told me like, yo, we moving to Delaware. I was never like, I was like, I bet. Cool.
Yeah, it seemed like you embraced the Delaware move.
I did. I was like, word, let's do that shit. Because I'm about to go down here, cross up these white boys. I'm playing ball heavy. Right. I'm about to go get some girls, some new girls. Right. And I'm about to cross these niggas up, play some ball. Nigga, culture shock, Culture shock. We getting down here, we driving past cornfields and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? No, this is crazy. Then we got to Dover. And I was like, it was kind of still a little spaced out back then. Like, it wasn't built up like as it is now.
Right, for sure.
So I'm like, the fuck, man, this is white. Like, what's the fuck going on? So that first day on the bus. The fuck? First of all, they got speakers in the bus. They had a radio on the bus. Playing the bus is playing the radio over the speakers, like hip hop music. I'm like, and I get on, and it's all niggas on this bus.
Right.
All niggas on this bus. But what it was is like with that situation, I didn't get caught into that. What was going on? Because I wasn't from there, and I didn't trust them niggas. So I stayed away from it. You know what I mean? And just nigga, I was doing great in school. You know what I'm saying? I'm just minding my business, playing ball. I go to the park. I started hanging out with the kids up the street, but I still wasn't doing what they was doing. You feel what I'm saying? Like it wasn't. And looking back at it, it just hit me. Who I was in New York wasn't really me.
Right.
That wasn't really me. Selling weed, smoking weed, cutting school, getting in trouble in school and kicked out. That wasn't really me. I was just, everything I got into, I was with other people. Kicked out of school because of me and my friends is walking home from school. Not supposed to be, but we walking home from school. I live way on the other side of town. We throwing rocks at houses and running, and we just doing a bunch of fucking mischief. You know what I'm saying? But I'm with my niggas. We having fun. You know what I mean? But yeah, it changed for me, and I say that too about my mother when we moved out here. It changed my life.
Right.
If I would have stayed in New York,
so
you know what I'm saying, like,
it happened when you was in Delaware.
Yeah, I probably would have been with O.
Right.
or tried to go with him. If I
Right.
was if I wasn't at some girl crib.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like if I wasn't at some chick crib or something like that, like out the way, if I didn't get in touch with him, if he would have called me and said, "Yo, man, these niggas just I'm about to go back up here. Yo, what up? All right, I'm going." I would have went. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
I would have went. That was my man's. That was, you know what I'm saying? Like the mindset is I gotta go. That's man. Listen, next
One
time,
moment.
yeah, next week, man, we gotta talk about these kids, man. We gotta talk about these kids, man. These
Sure.
teenagers, these demon time niggas, man.
Oh my God! See,
gotta-
effects of slavery, nigga. That's what I'm
got,
telling you, nigga. 400 years, nigga. Look at us now, nigga. We got demons out here. What you talking about, nigga?
Niggas is crazy.
Right.
Oh man, but yeah, yo, shout out to everybody that tapped in, man. This is the first episode of Money in the Bank. I don't know. We might get some people on here with us. Maybe not. But I feel like we good. Just me and you chopping it up. Just jumping on. I wanted to talk about a couple of different topics too that I seen, but we ain't gonna live on here. We're gonna do about an hour. It's Friday night. We'll save some next time. We'll talk about them demons real quick, and then we'll get into some current topics and things like that, and see your thoughts. And we'll try to dig deep into the fuck is going on, and give your opinion, and I give my opinion, and I'm standing on what I believe about the whole slavery thing and all that. I'm standing on that, on my belief about that. We gotta let that go. We gotta let that go.
Yeah, you halfway right. I'm not.
We gotta let that go, bro. We can't let that hold us back from like life, like from succeeding and doing what we need to do for ourselves and for our families. Like, come on, bro. Everything can't be the white man.
You think when somebody doesn't do something, their excuses, man, we have 400 years of slavery. If somebody doesn't educate themselves, or do you think it's a system?
Give me more context on that.
When you have these prison pipelines, right?
Yeah.
And it's
great granddaddy's in jail, daddy's in jail.
Or you're in the projects.
Talking about that? Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about that. Like you start off in the projects, you can't read, and they say that once you can't read, you have a 70% chance of going to prison, jail.
Yeah.
It's a pipeline.
Yeah,
these are systems that are created. I worked in Brooklyn. I worked at
statistically. This is what's happening. This is what
happens. But it's designed. This is a system that's designed. This is what happens when you take resources out of a community, and then you throw drugs in it, and then you throw guns in it.
This is proven.
It's proven. It's already this way.
It's proven. We got a lot of fucking what's the research on this?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just what it is. Redlining.
We got a lot of data. We got a lot of data on this.
Data, right. Even your zip code affects your credit score. You know what I'm saying? It's real like that.
That's real shit.
It's real like that. Is that not the same as saying that we were affected by slavery to this very moment because there's a whole system that was based off of slavery that deprived from slavery that still affects us to this day? You had, and I could see if it was, I just say 400 years was the beginning of it, and you still have this same type of issues to this day where you're taking resources, or if we do have thriving communities, they start building highways in the middle of it. They did it for West Baltimore. They did it in Philly. They did it in Oakland. They did it in all our major business districts where we started to come up. They destroyed the eminent domain. Oh, this is your land? Now we're taking your land from you. I'm saying the slavery, though, the white supremacy, if you want to go there, is still affecting us. We got to work around it. And I agree with you. We still got to work around it because there's no excuses. There's no excuses. And that's why I agree with you on that. There's no excuses, but I'm not going to act like folks ain't affected by it. And not everybody's the chosen one. Not everybody's. There's supposed to be people that reach out.
Okay.
That reach out. That more, you do better. You know better, do better. Reach out. But that's where we.
What do you mean by that? Reaching out. What do you mean by reaching out?
Like when I was earlier I was mentioning like these college institutions when they were created in the 1920s and the late 1800s.
Yeah.
These college institutions were made or created.
Fisk University,
Right.
and
Howard.
Howard. Mm-hmm.
They were created to educate the folks, black folks, and for you to go back down south and bring your people back up. But we got so big headed when we started educating ourselves, when we started saying shit like slavery didn't matter, and we got bougie, that we didn't reach back. You know, all the time I hear people that's from New York, the even older people say, "Man, I hate the South. I ain't never going back there."
Too
But
slow.
but if they
Your
slow,
whole lineage, your lineage is from there.
your whole lineage is in
Everybody
there. You know,
got family from North Carolina,
North Carolina, South
Florida,
Carolina,
Georgia,
Arkansas,
Mississippi, Arkansas, yeah, Texas, every Alabama. Everybody family, original family is from there.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
We got all these educated niggas, man. We just need to.
But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We just need to reach back, man, and start building again. And you know, I mean, this is like a dream. This is how I would imagine it being in a dream. But that shit matters, bro. That shit matters.
Yo.
Look how many years they gave some of your folks for them drug charges.
They did. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Come on now, nearly 100 years.
Do you know that there were people who didn't want to leave the plantation?
Yeah, for sure.
So you saying that we were supposed to go back, right?
Right.
How many niggas you know in the South don't want to leave the South? They don't fuck with no up north. They want to live there. They want to stay there. They want to. Man, I'm not going to New York.
They don't need to be in New York. New York is washed up. You know all you niggas need to go down south anyway. They right.
You know.
They right. We wrong. We need to be going. That's where all the black folks is at.
That's a fact, though. That's a
fact.
They're
not in New York. New York is Caribbeans.
Yes, it is. It is.
Spanish people, Puerto Rican, Dominicans, Caribbeans.
Yes, it's fact.
And Eastern Europeans. If you go into the boroughs, the Brooklyns and the Queens, the Russians got their own neighborhoods. That's what New York is. But you start going south, that's where them niggas is at.
That's where them niggas is at.
That's where them niggas is at.
They said, my man said the money in New York. But let me tell you something, though.
You're getting taxed in New York.
No. The money's only in New York because the cost of living in New York is crazy.
It's high, right.
You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Now, niggas is what you paying down south ain't what you paying up here up there. You know, let's talking. You know, everything's kind of high right now, but I'm sure it's even higher in New York.
Yeah, for sure.
So you talking back 5 years ago? I paid $10.50 for a 3-bedroom townhouse.
Right.
With a den. Let's just be real. You know what I'm saying?
The standard of living in New York is worse than down south.
That's a fact.
You get the money. I was living in. You remember I moved to Delaware.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I was commuting to Brooklyn every day.
Yeah, facts.
For that New York bread.
Yeah, facts.
I just say, what the fuck am I doing, bro? I'm spending half my money on tolls.
Tolls.
On tolls, and then your son ended my career, and then that was the end of it.
Oh, that was crazy. We're not gonna get into that. Money from the Bronx. He's from Fordham.
He said
he's from Fordham. If he's doing down south and be okay, we'll make less than $100K a year. But again,
you can make $100,000 down south. You can make $100,000 down south. That ain't. You can make $100,000 down south, sir. Trust me.
Ding. You can make that down here. You can just say down here with no education.
All these Charlotte is popping. You can make $100,000 in Charlotte. You got Virginia. Virginia is popping.
It's popping. It's money. But again, I'm going back to what we said. Money. That $100K
ain't $100K in New York.
Ain't $100K in New York. You feel what I'm saying? So 100K in New York is equivalent to 70K
Right.
in Alabama or Georgia or Texas.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? It's less. It's the same. It's the same.
Right.
Because your living expenses is higher. You know what I'm saying? So it balances itself out. You know what I'm saying? You may be making $30 an hour where you at. You go somebody down in Georgia making $20 an hour, but his rent is only fucking $1,200. You paying $2,200.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? It's a difference.
And that's what me and my man Joe talk about. My man works for immigration. He works for the federal government in Manhattan.
Okay.
He lives in White Plains. He got an apartment in White Plains. White Plains, if people don't know, is in Westchester County, and White Plains is
so it's a suburb of New York
They
City.
have one of the top 5 highest property taxes in the nation. You know, White Plains is they got
all the pro athletes that play in New York live in White Plains.
Live in White Plains.
I'm gonna say that. There we go. You know what I'm saying?
He lives out there, and he tells me all the time, we the same age or whatever. He's like, yo, I gotta get out of here, because to have the real New York experience, like the real New York experience, when you could go out and you could club, you could eat whenever you want to, you could drive whatever you want to drive. You're gonna have to make 180 to 200,000 a year to live how he want to live. When he just goes to Houston for a week,
with no state tax, nigga, with no state tax on that bitch.
We got a homie that moved to Houston and he living like a king.
And the rent you paying is his mortgage on a fucking 4-bedroom house on an acre of land. You know what I'm saying? It's different.
But it's hard though. Once you're in that New York, it's hard to leave and turn your back on New York though. But
what it is the accessibility of New York. That's what people I think get accustomed to. You know what I'm saying? Like the public transportation, the food, everything is. It's so
right.
diverse.
So diverse. It has the best food, some of the best food in the country, probably the world. New York, you can't get no better food. New York, Chicago.
Yeah.
New Orleans.
Yeah, New Orleans.
You getting good food at these places, and it's just, I don't know, bro. I just can't imagine raising my kid in New York City.
Right now, today.
Nah, couldn't.
It's different now. We gotta go because we about to get in. This is leading into them demons that we talking about. You feel what I'm saying? Like we leading into the demons. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because this is what it is now.
Right.
Like that. This is happening. These niggas is getting swooped up into this shit where these niggas is 12, 13 years old with switches. Not because. He said, "We here with it. We ain't going nowhere."
I know. Listen, one of my best friends, Boston, one of my best friends, born and raised in Brooklyn, Kingsborough Projects. Now he has a house in Queens and all that, got a family and all that. He would never leave New York.
Never leaving New York.
And he's lit. You know what I'm saying? He's out. Yeah. He's super charismatic. Boston. That's my bro. He ain't never leaving New York, and I get it. They here with it, you know what I'm saying? But I'm good, man. I lived down south before, so it ain't nothing to me. I enjoy it.
For sure. Yeah. We're gonna get up out of here, Don.
Eat
me some dinner.
Yeah,
eat me some dinner. So we'll be back. We're gonna see next week again. Yeah, I know how I move with my little segments and my shows. We're not on a schedule here. We're not obligated to this. We're not obligating ourselves to this. We will be back, though. And maybe next Friday, maybe next Saturday. It may be the Friday after that. Or the Saturday after that. We got moving from Friday because Friday is my safe place day. So Sundays is my conversation, my best friend conversations. And we got money in the bank now. And we're going to be talking about this shit. He said, stop gatekeeping your cousin. It's not my cousin. That's my nephew. That's my nephew. That's my nephew. My nephew. We here for it. But yeah, we out of here, man. Peace.
Peace.
All right.
All right.